Good morning. It is the 15th of February 2020, just coming up to quarter to 2. And I don't know if you can hear outside, but it's very windy in the UK. We had a big storm last week, and then we've got another storm today and tomorrow. Like, not too windy, like 40 mile an hour. I don't know what it's like near the coast, but nowhere near as bad as the other one. Although they are saying the gusts are probably going to be worse than this one. But it's interesting how things in your life become metaphors for everything else that happens around your life. Now, normally, for my daily vlogs, I normally delve into the daily stoic and I kind of leave it there. I just like talk about the stuff in the book and the words and how they have impact. But obviously, I have to have a few opinions and remarks about the Tron acquisition of steemit. Obviously, steemit is a big part of the Steem blockchain, but it isn't the Steem blockchain per se. So we have a bunch of witness servers, which kind of are the governance over the network. We have lots of servers that are run, and code tends to come out of steemit being the main driver, but there's obviously lots of people who contribute open source and work on bits of the blockchain. But the main coders, the people who like move the chain on, are from steemit, as far as I'm aware. If that's incorrect, then please say so in the comments. But it's interesting today that the 15th, February the 15th, was only bad dreams. Clear your mind and get a hold on yourself. And as when awakening from sleep and realizing it was only a bad dream upsetting you, wake up and see what is there is just like those dreams, and see that what's there is only just like those dreams. Getting upset is like continuing the dream while you're awake. The thing that provoked you wasn't real, but your reaction was. And so from the fake comes real consequences. It's not the first time I've heard consequences being used about this Tron Steem thing in the last 24 hours. Which is why you need to wake up right now instead of creating a nightmare. So, I mean, this book is pretty spot on in January and February. I have to say, this month was specifically about emotions and oh shit, what was it? Emotions and feelings? No, emotions and something. Passions and emotions. And I think one of the things that I will say about the Steem blockchain is that it is full of people who are passionate about their digital governance in the world. Like, a lot of people are here for the immutability of it. A lot of people are here because they want to earn for the posts, the things that they write, their content. There's a lot of people here because that was their first blockchain they started on. Might even been the first place where they built friendship and community online. There's been other platforms. IRC is kind of like what Discord is today. And it's cyclic, right? Like, these platforms change and evolve. They have a legacy for a period of time and then they disappear. You know, like the MySpaces of this world or the Blabs of this world. Things that have been around for a while and then they stay for a couple of years and then they get acquired. And then what normally happens is you have a year where it's kind of still running and then the API gets closed off and then gradually it fades away. And people remember the platform and the community and the people that were there, but they've moved on to other places. I don't think you can do that so easily with decentralized platforms. But I think every time something like this happens, and let's be honest, I feel like Steem has been through the most abusive relationship in history. I feel like every twist and turn of the blockchain has actually made it stronger in some ways, which I think is a credit to the people who have put their passion and effort into this blockchain. And even though I'm not a member of communities here, I mean, I was a mod at Steem Hunt, and I really loved that because of what they were trying to do for the kind of decentralizations of reviews. What's happening here? I'm getting like loads of messages. Let me turn that off. That's going to be on screen, isn't it? Oh, it won't be on screen actually because I'm only recording a video. Yeah, so where was I? I wrote a whole bunch of stuff here, like just things that fell out of my head about my first reactions, my probably ill-formed, biased reactions that fell out. But I kind of see this being a complete clusterfuck to actually implement. Because I don't know if Justin's son or his team or if the Tron people know how deep the veins of the Steem blockchain goes, and how buying steemit and their pre-mined big stake, yeah, you could flex some muscles and be like, this, downvote this and remove the delegation on that. You could really hollow out those communities very quickly. But I kind of see Steem as this thing that will always be around. I mean, it's been through the wars. Like, you've gone from $4 Steem down to like 0.10 cents. And now it's getting pumped up because obviously, like, if you're acquiring something, you want to kind of flip the value on that. And Tron has got like its own little facet or faucet army of managing to get these numbers to move up. So, I mean, look, I have got a million opinions about it. Those opinions are rapidly changing. I don't feel, my gut instinct is I don't feel like I want to be a user of a service that gets blended into another chain, regardless of the fact that it is Tron. Even though they're at like 12th position in the CoinCap market and we're at like 70 and nearly dropped off 100. It goes deeper for Steem, I think. And I think it's probably going to educate a bunch of other projects out there. Steem has been undervalued for a long time, and people haven't really seen the length and breadth of intelligence and conversation that goes on here. They just see a bunch of crappy photos or crappy blog posts, and they don't realize there's a frequency that Steemians understand. There's a reason why they stay through all of it. And that moment changes for everybody. I know a few people have tried to get people to blog about what that is, but I think this is the time where you'll see a lot of people come together and really put their stake in the ground about Steem. The AMA Ask Me Anything, ironically, is on DLive, which is just fucking typical of like business, isn't it? Like, yeah, come and use our Steem pool, and oh, your project's an experiment? Oh, okay, well, see you then. You're going to where? Lino? Oh, never heard of Lino. I don't know what that's like. But, I hope it works out for you. And then Lino gets bought out by Tron. Yeah, I don't know, man. I've got a million opinions about it. I'm more concerned about the notion of immutability when it comes to this notion that business can acquire communities. Like, I just want a fucking place on the internet where I can have all the wonderful aspects of what the Steem blockchain does. It gives us safety and security in numbers, right? We have hundreds of nodes that are in sync as a ledger of things that we post, and there's security in that because it's not nobody can target. Yeah, you could target a single node or a bunch of nodes, but then this kind of force for good comes together to keep that uptime. It's like having thousands of engineers around the world wanting to keep up their part of the deal, like wanting to like reinforce that bridge. I guess like I'm more interested in that. But so I see elements in Tron or acquisitions in Tron which make sense, and that's what tears me a little bit, because maybe it was just like Bram, who wrote BitTorrent, just wanted some money. I think they paid out like 140 million, Tron did, for BitTorrent. And then they spun up the BTT, which is a torrent token. So you get paid for seeding data. Now, I think that's fucking amazing, combined together with Steem's technology. But everything I see marketing-wise of Justin Sun is all about acquisition, more. It's about like trying to be... It's almost like trying to force relevancy by paying for relevancy. It's almost like paying PR, but the PR is consuming of blockchains. It's like the nothing in Never Ending Story. You can't describe it, but it's dark and it's painful and it just consumes fucking everything. And that's not a ground for feeling secure that your data is immutable across lots of ledger technologies. I don't know. It's just like I have so many like feelings about it that they're not well formed at the minute. And I just wrote a whole bunch of stuff this morning. I don't know if it's if it makes sense or if it doesn't make sense. I'm sure there's some angles in there that are going to infuriate people. I'm sure there's stuff in there that people may have considered or thought about. I'm not sure I support a new illustrious leader that spends 4.5 million to get a dinner date with an old man who's done pretty well playing the game. I don't know if we need to be inspiring old school thinking into new school, new emperors, new clothes kind of situations. I don't know about that. Yeah, I'm going to be tuning into this AMA. I just don't know about Tron, man. And I feel like a lot of people had heads up about this as well. I feel like the whole conversation about the power down for 4 weeks, I feel like people knew something. Like there's an underbelly or an undergroup of people on Steam who have got to a certain point with Steam. It didn't necessarily go the way it wanted to, so they've doubled down, created communities, created dApps, created fallbacks, so that they can, switch to Tron if they need to at some point. I don't know, man. These things like ebb and flow, they change. Like new players come on the scene, new technologies arise. Once Elon Musk has got his worldwide grid of satellites across the planet, maybe he'll bring out Tesla coin. Maybe he'll come out with like some real-time data coin just to be connected to his network. We don't know. Like one big player could come along and just dominate the lot, and just rewrite everything overnight. So I'd love to hear your opinions about it, obviously. One thing that I would really like to see, just from a contingency and consistency point of view, is if we build a tool to be able to export all of our posts from Steam. I would love to have that as a flat file database. Or if somebody can show me or inform me or tell me how I can query or pay for connections to a server to pull everything out of the Steam ledger to a flat file, like either a JSON file or some like HTML indexed, just the title, link, and then the post locally. It doesn't have to obviously have the images, but if we can pull those back from Steam images as well, that'd be cool. But I would like to have a copy of it. I know the copy's on multiple servers globally, but if I want to make a decision, or if I want to move to another chain, or like if this is going to happen a lot because everything's going to get faster, acquisitions time may go from 2 years to a year to 6 months to fucking 6 minutes. It might be like, oh yeah, we bought that blockchain now. And it's like, well, I don't want to be on Coca-Cola blockchain. I like Pepsi. So I don't like your business ethics or your models. So I want to be able to have the ability to data exchange kind of technology where I can almost put out a real-time trade of where I want to host my data based on certain key points. So it might be recycled energy, sustainable energy. It might be a certain portfolio of ethical companies that you work with. I want to host with you on your chain. I don't necessarily need to know how fast it is. Obviously, we've been spoiled with Steam. 0 transactions, 3-second completion times. I mean, 0 cost transactions, should I say. But things come to an end. Maybe this is the end. Maybe it's not the end. Maybe we turn into Steam Classic and we just keep running what we've already got. Or maybe it's a wake-up call that we need. If there's one thing that I've seen about Steamians is their resilience to adopt change, and there is definitely some core fundamentals that Steamians adhere to, no matter how heated and annoyed and frustrated they get with other people on the blockchain. There is definitely a frequency that this chain runs at. So we'll see. Will people step up to the plate, or will they let it turn into the MySpace of the blockchain world? I don't know. All right, I will speak to you later. I've started a Twitter funeral, Steam funeral, 24 hours of Steam funeral, which is just songs to feel regret by, if you're interested in watching. Peace out.
Drifting slowly into an empty space where I can go. I'm just a road yourself.